Her name was Leia. She was a princess with a Danish on each ear and Darth Vader drawing near. So R2-D2 found Ben Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
He'd have to put the Death Star plans into the rebellion's hands. So Luke and Obi-Wan had to get to Alderaan. So they stopped into Mos Eisley to have a drink with Han at the Star Wars Cantina. The weirdest creatures you've ever seen here at the Star Wars Cantina. Music and blasters and old Jedi masters at the Star Wars.
The Force will be with you.
Hello, I'm Jin with the Tor Noob podcast, episode 5. I haven't made a podcast episode lately, and that's because I've been trying to figure out how best to present to you the game's legacy system, what it means, what it does, and why it's a nifty thing to have. I wanted to make sure to present the content in a logical way that is easy to digest. I thought I might just talk about other stuff as well, but I think I'll just keep it to the legacy-specific stuff today in order to keep you, and me, from being overwhelmed. Okay, first, I'm going to explain what a legacy is. In the 6 existing Star Wars movies, we are shown what happens to 3 generations of the Skywalker family. Luke Skywalker and his father, of course, but also his sibling, his mother and his grandmother. And in the expanded universe of comics, books, and spin-offs, there are other characters who are mentioned as having interacted with a Skywalker. You get the impression that this is a rather important family. Skywalker clan is one example of a legacy. In the Star Wars universe, the name of Skywalker has the same sort of celebrity status as real-life families, like the Kennedys or the Kardashians. Everyone in-game has a legacy as well, a family name, no matter how obscure. On a single server, you will have a single legacy that unites all your characters on that one server. Now, there are 2 ways to use the legacy system: personal lore and sharing things. There are some people who roleplay, and for them the legacy is a way to explain their characters, where they've come from, who they're related to, and how a particular set of people are related, and maybe why they share a last name. Other players don't put that much thought into the characters, and simply want to play a lot of different characters of different species in different factions. For them, this most basic function of the legacy system, personal lore, is just fluff. I'll spend the rest of this episode describing the more major part of the legacy system, sharing things, but first I'd like to explain how you set up your legacy. If you are just starting out on a server, when your first character reaches level 10, the shield icon in the top game menu begins glowing. You can also open the legacy window by hitting Y on your keyboard. When you name your legacy, be aware that this will serve as a last name for all characters on this server. You can shut this off or turn it on in each separate character's character sheet, whatever you prefer. You may name your legacy whatever you like. Some people go for real-sounding last names, and some go for something a little more amusing. For example, somewhere out there's a smuggler that goes by the name of Scruffy Nerf Herder. I refuse to take the scheme seriously. The legacy window is a mess of menu items on the left side, and a list of perks that you can unlock on the right. If you're new to the game, I'm going to advise you to ignore most of this panel. Otherwise, it's going to be very overwhelming to explain every detail. It certainly won't hurt to peruse all the menu items and possible unlocks in your spare time. So if you're standing around on a fleet with nothing better to do, poke around a bit. For now, I'm going to advise clicking on one menu item on the left entitled Other. When you click on it, the right side of the window shows you various things that, once unlocked, you can use for your entire legacy. You can use Cartel coins or in-game credits to accomplish this. This is where I always spend my Cartel coins myself. At around level 17, you get your own travel starship with a cargo bay, and for my personal convenience, I unlock the mailbox, the repair vendor droid, and the GTN console. The personal starship by itself is a rather dull thing. If it were not for the conveniences of a mailbox or the other mentioned starship unlocks, I would have to travel to a planet or to fleet or to my stronghold in order to buy, sell, or transfer things. It's very convenient to have the aforementioned things in this same area. In the convenience set of icons, also in this part of the legacy window, I have unlocked Legacy Travel 1, 2, and 3, so that all of my characters' quick travel cooldown is reduced to 10 minutes from its original 30. Rocket Boost 1, 2, and 3 allow you to travel with rockets on your shoes for about 10 seconds at a time, and at the 3rd tier can be used every 30 seconds. Rocket Boost can be used in places where vehicles cannot, and when you're under level 15 as a subscriber, it's about the only vehicle type thing you can use at all, so it's highly advisable. As a rule of thumb, I always prefer unlocking legacy-wide things rather than things that benefit only one character. Read the tooltips carefully to learn which perk applies to one character or all of them on the server you're on. I've mentioned that you can share things with other characters in a legacy, and here's how. If you hit I on your keyboard to bring up your character's inventory, on the lower left-hand side of the window you'll see a little button that says Collections. Click on it to bring up the Collections window. This is another overwhelmingly complicated and poorly designed area of the game, but if you watch this podcast episode on YouTube, you'll have a visual of what I'm about to describe. In the left-hand menu of Collections, you're going to scroll past the Cartel Market, Cartel Reputation, and Packs to the word Armor in blue text. Now just below that, click on the slightly indented word Armor in gold text. Like I said, it's poorly designed and terrible to explain in words, so check out the video for episode 5 to see what I'm talking about. Anyway, when you click on the word armor in gold text, you'll see a bunch of armor appear in the right side of the window. All of these sets of armor are called adaptive armor. You can acquire them directly from the cartel market or indirectly from different cartel packs, also available from the cartel market. Basically, you can see them on the GTN as well from other people who have opened these packs and have placed these items on the market. The benefit of using a set of armor from this collections window is that you only need to purchase the complete set once, and it is here that you can unlock that set for the entire legacy by spending additional cartel coins. Adaptive armor comes in the form of a blank shell with slots into which you can insert mods, armorings, enhancements, and color dye, all of which you can craft or purchase from the GTN. I'll explain about adaptive armor in another podcast, but because this concerns the legacy, I thought it was worth mentioning now. The process to unlock a set of armor in collections is this. First, acquire the complete set of armor through the cartel market or through the GTN. Next, wield that complete set of armor on one character. Thirdly, if you want to use that set on a different character as well, log into another character, go to that set of armor in the collections window, and click on the stylized house icon in the lower left hand of the armor set's preview, to which you'll be told the amount of cartel coins required to unlock that set across your legacy, and then the house icon will turn into a box with 2 arrows pointing towards it. Hitting that box icon will transfer a set of this armor into your inventory. This is a one-time purchase for the entire lifetime of your account, but cartel coins do cost real-life money, so be sure that set you're looking at is actually the one you want. Again, I'm describing things that are occurring in a video to make things clearer. Search YouTube for Tor Noob Podcast Episode 5 to see this in action, or head to my website, tornoob.com, to see the video there. So that's the legacy system, or at least an introduction to it. It's worth mentioning that as you level at least one character on a server, you'll unlock some nifty things as you go. For instance, if you complete Act 2 on a character, you'll notice that you can now share that class buff from that character to all the other characters in that legacy. It's for this reason that those who have played this game longer tend to have leveled one warrior or knight, one inquisitor or consular, one bounty hunter or trooper, and one agent or smuggler each, to unlock all 4 buffs for all characters. Also, at level 50, you unlock the species for that character you leveled on for your entire legacy. So if you go to make a new character, let's say you've leveled a Sith Pureblood, that race will be unlocked at level 50 for all the classes when you go to make a new character. There are other ways to unlock a species, but this is the cheapest, if most time-consuming way. Another way is through an unlock item in the GTN or by spending cartel coins in the appearance kiosk. Since my last podcast episode, the newest and one of the more interesting updates to the game has been the introduction of the Galactic Stronghold. I'm thinking it might be worthwhile to devote an episode to that. What exactly it is, how to get your own stronghold, and how neat it is for those of you who want an excuse to get into crafting, so look for that next time. I hope this episode taught you something you didn't understand before, and I hope it gave you some new questions to ask. Never be afraid to ask questions in general chat, no matter where you are. This game is really full of helpful players who may know the answer, or may be able to direct you to a resource you might not have known about before. There's always a chance that you'll be accused of being a noob, but hey, we were all noobs once, and some of us revel in it. This has been the Tor Noob Podcast, Episode 5, recorded Sunday, September 14th, 2014. I am Jin, and you can find show notes, downloads, and all the other silly things at tornoob.com. I always update Twitter and Facebook whenever I upload a new episode, so be sure to add me there as well. And each audio episode is uploaded in video form at YouTube as well, if you prefer to listen or watch podcasts there. No matter how you found me, thank you for listening, and remember, each cantina has a jukebox. Throw in a chip, choose a song, and watch the stage come alive. Make it a party, hit the dancing mode, and see who joins in. Enjoy!